So, back with the boat now. The fillet should be hard, and it is hard. So it's now time to take the wood, a piece of wood off. And also this time, well, basically almost all of the goal is to finish everything of the hull. So primer, putting on the spoiler, laminating the spoiler, fixing the hole of the depth transducer, putting filler on the hull, sanding down the filler, another layer of primer, and then the copper coat. That's the goal for this weekend. So the moment of truth, back here, it already looks really nice. It's off on deck, so it came loose already here. So let's. That was the wood. So it looks really good. And that's the board on the floor now. But yeah, looks like a success. So the laminating table has been prepared. We put PVC on top of it. We taped it down, and then we put marks and lines here for the length which it needs to be. So we made 2 parallel lines, 10.5 centimeters wide, and then we marked out the length the spoiler will be. It's 3005 millimeters. So now it's time to cut the carbon to the right size, and then we'll need to lay up the carbon.
First step was to cut up the carbon fiber, and then we weighed that to make sure we have the right amount. I also did it with the peel ply. This is to create a nice smooth surface. Then it was time to mix epoxy, make sure everything is the right amount and clean and properly mixed. Then I put down the first layer of carbon, really soak that one through to make sure it's all the way saturated. The second layer also soaking that one through. And then the third layer is a bit more dry, and with an air roller I rolled that one out first to make sure there's no air bubbles in there. And then on top of that I put down the peel ply, and that one I went over with the air roller again as well. And then it was time to wait and let it dry.
The laminate is almost cured. It's still a bit too tacky to put on the hull to shape it, but in an hour or two it will be. So then we'll, with 2 wooden boards, we'll put it on the hull like we did with the previous wooden board. Then it takes the right shape. And right now I will be working on getting a new hole around here for my depth instrument. And then afterwards I will sand this hole to make sure we can fill that hole again. So that's it for now. Well, I'm inside right now, and the points to pay attention to right now is getting the hole straight. So it's straight with 90-degree angle to the hull. So I'll first drill with a small bit to get a straight hole, and then with the big hole saw I will drill the big hole. So I've sanded down the inside and outside of this hole. So it's gonna be nice laminating to that. And this hole is cut out. I have the cutout piece here. And this one we can sand down the top and the bottom, and then we can laminate it into the hull. You see it came out of here. And it's gonna go in here. So it needs quite some filler. Currently I'm sanding down the fillet on the back. It's sometimes it went a bit over the wooden board and it needs to have a good grip. So sanding that down, and then it should be ready to stick the spoiler on when it's cured all the way, the spoiler. So I've started sanding the repairs on the side of the boat. First sanding out the tops and then we'll get the shape back in. So that's it for now. On the other side I haven't started yet. But here the real tops are out, so now it's about getting a flat surface and then we will get the shape in. Sanding the sides is done now. It's in some spaces it's not completely the right shape yet, so we need to use a little bit more filler, but that will be way less this time. So now it's time to fill that up and lift the boat up so I can work on the bottom of the keel. I'm about to mix the filler again to fill in some small spots on the sides. And then that will need to dry and then we can sand that down and then it's ready for primer. Filler is on. So next step will be putting on the spoiler. It's now, as you can see, I'm on the fiber here. No more filler or primer left, so that's good because then the carbon fiber I'm gonna put on top of it is gonna stick to it. The thickness of the deck and the thickness of the piece I'm gonna put in are about the same right now. So I just need to sand the inside so all the old layers of paint are gone and I'm on the fibers on the inside, and then I'm done and ready to laminate in the hole. The hole is now filled in, so we need to let this dry a little bit so it's really stuck on, and then afterwards we can put some carbon fiber over it. This is the other hole, and the carbon fiber is almost cured, so it's only slightly flexible in the epoxy, so that's good for the back of the boat here, because when we put this one on we'll also put the carbon fiber over the back there. Next step is sanding the bottom of the keel, and to get to the bottom of the keel I need to lift the boat up. So I have all the chains off the boat now so I can hoist her up. But then I also need something to put underneath the keel. So I have this wooden, a piece of wood here to make sure if something fails with the chains, the boat isn't on the ground immediately but still standing on the keel, because I am working underneath her. The boat is high, the block's underneath, so now I'm gonna let it down slowly and make sure everything stays in place. So as you can see, I'm now sanding the bottom here. It's the top I already did quite a bit. I'm trying to do as much as possible. It's getting quite smooth underneath. And then I do the other side and then I lift it and then I move the wooden board a bit backwards. And then when it's backwards I can do the other part of the keel. So the epoxy has cured, so now we can put it on the hull, and that's the next step, laminate it to the hull. We have now pre-mounted the spoiler. It's on the hull, 2 screws in the boat, and now it's time to take it off, make the epoxy, put the epoxy on, and then put it on again with enough tension between the 2 screws. So it's all the way flush with the boat and the fillet we put on. So the spoiler is on, we glued it on, so now it's time to let it dry. And tomorrow, after 24 hours, we can put filler on it to smoothen out the flow of the water. The spoiler is attached to the hull nicely. So now the next step was to make a nice, a smooth finish to the edge, because otherwise there's a 2 mm gap, and now it's a smooth finish which I just made. And the next step will be to laminate the carbon fiber patches over the hole I made here, and I have the carbon fiber patches already cut. So I have the peel ply, I have a thick and a big one, and I have a smaller one which goes underneath to make a more of a flush finish. The carbon fiber patch is attached to the boat here, so that's good to go. Now it still needs to dry, and then we can sand it down a bit and put some filler on top of it. And this is starting to dry a little already on the back, so that's good. And now I'm back at sanding down the bottom of the keel. The keel has been sanded, so I'm done there now. And I received one part of equipment I didn't have yet. A bendable sanding board with vacuum extraction. And with that I can get the right shape into the hull on the side. So that's what I'm gonna do now. One side is done, so now on to the other side. It's some work to get it all the way flat, but it's now in the right curve, so that's good. Both sides are smoothly sanded, and I sanded the inside of the spoiler a little bit. So now tomorrow we'll do the last preparations, check with a fresh mind how smooth everything actually is, and then we put the primer on the boat. So that's gonna be a big step. Next day everything is dry, so I cut out the points for the rudders so they can still move freely around the spoiler. And what I did is sand down the filler we used here, and I sanded down the repair here a little bit and around the edges, so it's a nice finish. So now it's time to sand down a straight line on the waterline. That was still quite hard before, but now it should be a bit more easy. And then when that's done, put a lot of the sheets on the floor. And with the sheets on the floor, we can paint the primer. Well, working hard. All the cover for the floor is on. So I just need to tape down all the edges so we can't trip on it, and if paint drops, it won't seep through. What I'm now doing is cleaning the waterline with some soap, get all the dirt off, and then with the laser I will put on the new waterline. So I will turn on the laser and then balance out the boat, make it nicely even, and then I will paint, put marks on the line of the laser, and then I will have the water line. I'm currently aligning the laser. If you look good, you can see the laser on the water line here. So it's standing there, and I'm trying to get a nice straight line with the laser on the water line, which is level with the water line of the boat. So quite some balancing out, and then when it's done I can mark them with dots, and then I put tape on top of it, and then I sand it down. So currently putting on the tape for the water line. I work with the laser now, so it's a straight line, and I just need to follow all the dots I put down, and then it's a straight water line again. The waterline tape is on, new tape because the other one was a bit damaged because of the sanding. So now I, with a cloth with a substance on it, I took off all the dust, and the boat is now free hanging, so we can paint all around her. And now Ailey back there is mixing, pre-mixing the primer. Next step will be putting on the primer. So first layer is on. It's all the way around and on the repairs, so that's nice for now. First layer is on. I need to let it dry a little bit before I can go over with the second layer. So a short break for me. Second layer is on. It was some work, but it's done now. It's one smooth, equal surface. So next step is tomorrow look past it and see where we need to put some filler on. Hopefully not that much spots, because the less filler we need to use, the easier it is to sand it down later on again. But definitely a bit here around the spoiler. And next to that, tomorrow I will be working on a deck repair as well. That was it for the last 5 days. Quite some things managed. The spoiler is attached. The hull is completely sanded. The hull is repaired. And everything is applied. Everything is primed. Now the primer has been sanded almost completely. The keel bolts have been filled up again. That was also quite some work. And the deck repairs are done. The sides are now primed as well. Still need to be sanded. And then when that's sanded, I need to check if I need a little bit more filler. And then I can put on the gray coating again. So next time, finishing the sanding of the hull, the keel and the sides. Then working with the filler. Then need to dry. When the filler is dry, I will come back, sand filler to have a smooth curvature of the hull. And then the next time, maybe I need a little bit more filler then as well. And then the next time I'll be here will be primer, wait 24 hours for the hull. And then when the primer is done, it's hard, we can start with the copper coat anti-fouling. So that's it.